Last minute, we had a handful of little superstars, Colorado superstars show up, and this is a blessing. Hey, this is Sunday, and y'all came out to listen to us motherfucking talk about how to live off music. Make some noise for yourself real quick. We believe Sunday Fun Day should be about hip-hop, about art, about music, about doing what you love. It don't just gotta be for the clubs, it can be for everybody. So this is a new concept. Jeff, you wanna say some good words to him real quick?
I'd like to thank all y'all for coming out on a Sunday. I know y'all can be with your family or whatever you could be doing. That shows a lot of dedication that as artists out here, y'all will come together and do this, and this is what this is all about. Creating this movement that can actually build something in Colorado and build something all across the world that can help artists. As we say, there's 30 million actual artists in the world right now that are independent. Only 1,500 of them live off of hip hop right now, or off of music in general. So if you think 1,500 out of 30 million, that's crazy to sit and say only 1,500 can say, hey, I live off this. Everyone else has to work. We got to give the opportunity so everyone can actually do this and live off of it so they don't have to work day jobs and everything like that. Don't we all want to just rap or sing all day? Like, if it's just a hobby, then cool, you know what I'm saying? Like, I could be wrong, it could be a hobby for somebody, but if you want to live off this instead of going to your day job and just do this forever, that's what being here is all about. And so I'd like to thank y'all for all coming out to listen to us talk about it.
So it's kind of informal, right? If you guys have a question, raise your hand. We're here to answer questions. We're here to give you the high-level overview of what we're doing, what we've been doing, and how we're doing it, how you could better succeed within it. Also, just, you know, we got a lot of success stories that are here, so we might jump out to a couple of y'all.
So I guess we'll take this from the top. So for the majority of us, we're all independent artists in here. I don't know if anyone has a deal or anything like that. Majority of us are independent artists. Currently, right now, if you're an independent artist, you're kind of on the back end of everything. The label, for instance, if you have a label, you have $250,000 or $500,000, then of course you can get a good run on radio or a good push with all the blogs and everything, Spotify and stuff like that. If you don't have that, you're kind of just on the bottom end right now. The only thing you can get is whatever your fan base has, or whatever little connection we can have ourselves currently. So other than, basically it's the tide is against you. So the labels, for instance, they control the top 10%. So every time they put out a song, every time they put out a video, they didn't get to control where all this stuff goes. So for instance, when you put out a video, if you don't naturally catch virality, nothing happens. And even if you catch virality, for you to harness that form of virality, you'd have to make enough money to constantly stay in front of those people. So then you're looking at having a campaign that might be $500,000 for you to come back to make them see you constantly. So then at this point, you're kind of like, well, what do I do? Because I've had stuff go viral, didn't mean shit. I've had tons of things happen and didn't mean shit. You know, I performed in front of 80,000 people. But how can they see me again the next day if they don't even know where to find me? Everybody's not gonna sit here and say, oh, his name is King Tef, let me go find him on Instagram. Everyone's not gonna say that. A couple, maybe like 100, 200 people, I can be in front of 80,000 people and maybe like 500 people might be like, oh, I'll make sure I go check them again. But then as they're drinking and partying, I can't really harness that. So then it's kind of like a setup to make it so if you're not at the top 5% of these artists, it's nothing that can really happen for you. And if we look at it, you go Spotify. In Spotify, what is it, 0.007 cents a play? 6, 7, yeah.
100 million views, you get what, $1 million?
And so 100 million views, you might get 100, I think it's 100 million, it's like, you might make $100,000. So now if we say, what does it take for you to live right now? Let's say for the average person, they're making like, let's say they need, to live in Colorado, you need to make $70,000. Like, let's be honest, like living in Colorado is fucked up. So it's like, you need to make around $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 for you to live pretty decent out here. So it's like, you need to make 100 million views. So you need 100 million plays for you to live good. In that idea, does that even make sense to any of us to be like, man, I'm really pushing for 100 million plays? Like, let's be honest with each other. Like, if you can get 100 million plays, you already touring. If you can get that every year, then it's no reason for me to even talk, because it's like, damn, this nigga got 100 million plays. Because I see people post it, and it's crazy to me because I see people post how many plays they got on Spotify, and that's all good. I get it's dope, but at the same pace, it's like all you telling me is you made $10 this year. That's what you're telling me. Like when I see it and a nigga say, "Hey, I have 100,000 and 500,000 plays," I'm like, "Okay, you made $50. That's cool."
We're not knocking the plays, right? Everything is leverage in this game, but there's leverage. And then there's real money. And to survive off of music, you have to have a business plan. You have to have real money to pay bills.